there's no glass ceiling. You get to choose with your own goals, skills, and effort how much money you want to make. The problem is that most people. Hey, it's Lance McGowan here, and I found the most comprehensive doTERRA compensation plan analysis done by an anti-MLM person in this Reddit post right here. So I'm actually going to read off as much of the highlights as I can. I'm going to give you a link in the description below, and I'm going to give you a little summary of it as well. But basically, you know, after reading this, I kind of had to read it before because it is pretty long. I mean, it is detailed. I mean, I'm still going down on it. I mean, I'm still going down. It's keep going. Like, I'm still going down on their analysis. Is it still going? I mean, you look. This is like a novel. I mean, this is on doTERRA's compensation. I mean, they even have conclusions, and they just keep going. Notes. I mean, this has got to be like 1,000 to 1,500 word mini essay on this thing. So I think the point that they're trying to make is that little to nobody makes money in network marketing companies, and then specifically doTERRA. And I think they're directionally correct, but there's some things that they have to consider that could also be said of most entrepreneurial small business startups as well that are non-MLM or non-network marketing companies, you know, because most of those will go out of business within 5 years, roughly 95%, and then after 5 years there's a very, very small percent, single-digit percent that are actually still alive and thriving, actually, not just surviving, but thriving. And so that could be said for any company. And then obviously there's Pareto's rule, which is the 80-20 rule going into effect, where, you know, 80% of the company's revenues and profits are being earned by probably about 20%. That's directionally correct, at least, of the actual distributors in a company. So there's going to be always a small percent of sales folks, distributors, or people doing the business compared to the rest of the customer base. And those are the people that are going to be driving new customer sales and maintaining relationships with current customers to make sure they can continue to help the company in revenue and profits and stuff like that. So I think when people just kind of go in on this, I think that it's interesting. And they did their, you know, a lot of analysis and stuff, and obviously it changes every year with doTERRA's compensation because there's more wellness advocates, there's more people being helped and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to give that as an upfront, hey, that's the general landscape of the business. So I think, again, people get blindsided. They don't look at both sides of the coin and try to understand how this also plays out in corporations and franchises and mom and pop shops, in addition to network marketing. So, but this is an anti-MLM Reddit thread. So I'm not surprised. I'm just trying to help you. And if they could see this, help them be more objective. But with that being said, I think they did produce a lot of great numbers and information here, and there is some value to be had. So let's go without further ado. Okay, it's called MLM Monday. This says doTERRA. So the interactions on the previous post, MLM Thursday with Rodan and Fields, yielded a lot of good interactions. Some people seemed to enjoy it and requested more to be done. Amway and doTERRA were both requested, and doTERRA presented a quick opportunity to break down. I'm going to take the lessons learned from the Rodan and Fields post to hopefully make this one easier to follow. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely bolded and information here. So it says in 2017, doTERRA claimed to have 3 million US consultants. This number is repeated at the top of the page. One of the income disclosure links below in the second column. The US population is 327.5 million, and that means that 1 in every 110 people in the US is already a doTERRA consultant. So yes, using numbers and statistics and all that good stuff, that's interesting as well, right? So yeah, it's definitely, doTERRA is growing in the US, and according to the last convention, it was roughly like 60% of consultants are in the US compared to international as well. So that is interesting. International market is growing, but the US is still the biggest market for doTERRA, basically. So it says doTERRA income disclosure. So after retrieving those facts above, we can analyze the doTERRA income disclosure. And so hold on tight. They divide their groups multiple times to make the percentages earning lots of money look high, which requires lots of individual calculations. Kinda rude, guys. Again, this is an anti-MLM thread. So anyways, it says, according to disclosure, 76% of all wellness advocates never made it past the first rank. And then it says 84% of 76% made no commission, which is 63% of all advocates and 1.89 million people. 16% of 76% averaged $375 for the year, which is 33% of paid advocates. 12.16% of all advocates and 364,800 people. So basically, I could bore you with all the numbers, or you could just, click on the link below. And basically, he's coming to the conclusion that a very small percent of people make the most money in doTERRA, and that is true. That's going to be true for any network marketing company. That's arguably going to be true for any corporation as well, because you have CEOs who are one person making more money than everyone else as well. So same with CFOs and CMOs and all those chief operating officers and chief marketing officers and all those folks and chief human resources officers and all that. So similar, dynamic going on here. I'll just kind of go down a little bit because it is a lot of numbers. I don't want to bore you, but at the same time it is interesting and informative at the same time. And so it keeps going. They don't say the percentage of people who are leaders, but if we take them at their word and use 76% plus 23% for the rest of the company, then 1% of the company are leaders. Who knows how much rounding was done? Probably lots. Oh well, the numbers are still horrible even if we use 1%. So again, they have an anti-MLM mindset, but basically this is going to be true for any business. You look at corporations, how much does the executive and senior vice president and senior directors and senior managers make up of the whole company? And when you include all their customers as well, but not necessarily customers in this context, but if you include all of the people that are employees, they make up a very small percent of the total workforce as well. All the senior leaders, or leaders if you want to call. So again, people aren't looking at both sides of the coin or seeing how their conclusions could be drawn about any corporation, small business, or even franchise business as well. Okay, so they keep going down and down and down. I'll just show you, and then I'll just give the highlight here at the very bottom where it says less than 1% of 1% average $1.25 million for the year, which is less than 0.027% of paid advocates, less than 0.01% of all advocates, and less than 300 people, which is the presidential diamond rank. And if it were easy, everyone would be a presidential diamond rank. Obviously, it may have been easier for the folks who did hit presidential diamond, but that doesn't mean it was easy in general. Obviously, they had to help a ton of people, and typically over 50, 60,000 people that they've helped become a wholesale customer, and a smaller percent become wellness advocates themselves. So they have large teams. They help so many people. It's definitely earned, but it's definitely, to his point and to doTERRA's point, a very, very, very small percent of the total wellness advocate population. And again, I go back to corporations and others because I worked for one. The senior leaders, the managers, made up a very small percent of the total employee workforce. This could be applied to them if I ran the numbers too. But anyways, we'll continue. It says distribution of income. So the company paid out $3.744 billion for the year. Their sales were $5.1 billion according to the same disclosure. This means that 73.4% of all sales is paid out in rewards commissions. And so he gives a really long formula here. Not going to have you memorize that or anything. So it says here less than 0.01% of advocates, less than 300 people received, I guess, slightly less than $377.8 million. And so there's a lot of money being distributed. And if you remember watching my video about Jamberry, it's important that network marketing companies are able to pay their distributors on time and in full based on what they actually earned. If they're not, that is a red flag for cash flow, which could be a red flag for the company potentially closing their doors. So that's not the case for doTERRA because they're debt-free. They do pay their commissions in full and on time, and they have an income disclosure so you can see what you're getting yourself into. And so this person obviously took it many steps above that and gave ultra analysis on all this. And yes, I'll continue. Okay, so basically they go over how many people earned basically what percent of all that money. And again, I'm not going to read everything because you can read it yourself, but I'll just kind of give some highlights. It says that this means that The top 24% of the company received 3.6 billion, or roughly 96.3% of the total payouts. The next 800,000 people receive 136.8 million, or roughly 3%, or 3.7% of the total payout. The remaining 1.89 million people receive nothing. So again, that goes back to a very small percent of even wellness advocates earn income, but the folks that do income, they earn it by helping a lot of people. So that is the pattern you'll keep hearing over and over. And again, this is not unique to doTERRA. This is all businesses, unless you're a mom and pop store of like 2 people and you both make up 100% of the company and you both make the most. Like, that's the only time where there'd be an exception of, you know, the leaders and the senior leaders making up all of the workforce, right? Then they do need to hire and actually delegate and probably get some consultants in there to help them grow their business, but that's a whole other topic. Okay, so it says expected cost for doTERRA. So the first year sign-up cost is $35. It is $25 a year after that. This means 63% of people, those who made nothing, lost money on the sign-up costs alone, unless they were only signing up for discounts. So yes, it's, you know, when people say lost money as a wellness advocate or a distributor, if you're with another network marketing company, you don't say that about people that go to Costco and have a membership. Every time they walk out the door, you know, a cart full of produce and products and vegetables and, you know, whatever products that they bought from Costco, you don't point your finger at that person and say, you lost all that money, ha ha, told you it would never work. They bought it because they got it at a discount and it adds value to them. And then, you know, those anti-MLMers will say, well, Costco's not a network marketing business, but the concept of a membership and receiving discounts is the same. So analogies aren't going to be exactly apple to apple. It's not going to be red apple to red apple. So my analogy is going to be like yellow apple to red apple. Okay, so Costco's not an MLM, but they do operate in a membership-based, discount product-based system, very, very similar to doTERRA and network marketing in general. Anyways, we'll continue, because that, you know, comes up with the whole lost money part. If you use your products and you get benefit from them, you don't lose money. You spend money for value. It's a value exchange. Value for value. Valuable products for valuable money in exchange for each other. Everyone wins, especially if you use them. If you don't use the products, then no, it's not, you don't receive the full value. So anyways, here we go. It says you must also buy 1 item each year to keep the membership, which is not hard to do if you, again, know the benefits and the uses of your products and you actually use them. So that's super easy for me to do. It's crazy how easy it is. It says for those actively trying to make money on commissions, they must get at least 50 PV or point value per month. PV is not always equal to the sales price, so this is more than $50 per month. So 50 times 12 equals 600. Remember that only 36 to 37% of the company receives any commissions. 12.16% of the entire company averaged $375 in commissions. So he's actually kind of touching base on what it takes to break even as a wellness advocate and how much you got to make each year, or, you know, all that stuff. So this is approximately 1/3 of those being paid. So a full 33.3% of those being paid lost an average of $225 a year if they only purchased the minimum spend. So yes, if it costs you $600 a year in product and you only make $375 in commissions, you did not earn your products completely for free. But at the same time, if you're receiving benefit and value because you use the products and you're saving money in other areas, keyword other areas, right? From seeing your health practitioner, from the on-the-shelf store products, from, you know, having solutions in life's little emergencies so they don't turn into big expensive emergencies, the cost savings could be more. I mean, they could argue that's out of scope, Lance. You can't prove it. Where's the facts? I need to see the bills for all that, or the opportunity costs. But it is another perspective. When you invest in yourself in powerful products, essential oils, supplements, personal care products, cleaning products from doTERRA, you're investing in yourself so that you can save more money in other areas. So these little emergencies can be addressed so they don't become big, expensive emergencies. So that is where the true cost savings is going to be. And that, for me, is well over $600. Let me tell you, that's in the thousands of dollars, multiple thousands of dollars that I'm saving by using the products. So anyways, and I can give the numbers for that. So he or you email me. I'll give you the numbers on that one. So since we're all about the numbers on this video, right? Okay, so here we go. So it says to receive money on those farther in the downline, 100 PV must be acquired, which is $1,200 a year. Remember that PV does not map exactly to dollar amounts, so those earning $1,250 or less are almost certainly only just covering the required PV or are losing money. This accounts for 27.57% of the company, which is about 75.5% of those being paid. So a full 75% of paid advocates on average made nothing or lost money, meaning a full 90.5% of advocates on average lost money or made nothing. So again, this supports what I said before about if you receive benefits and value, you're not losing money. And yes, that's true for any corporation, small business, and otherwise with regards to the leaders and senior leaders are going to make up a very small percent of the total people making money. Not just making money, but to his point, paying, not only paying for your products, but maybe even earning a profit above that as well. So here we go. So if you include the cost of business kits, which give bulk amounts of product, and the stock that a consultant must keep on hand, these numbers get even worse, and it's most likely that doTERRA follows the general trend of MLMs that close to 99% of advocates lose money. In doTERRA's case, it's probably in the 97 to 98% window, with about 0.5 to 1.5% breaking even and 1.5% earning money, just based on the distributions above. So the top 1.5% is almost certainly making money, and then you'll have 0 to 2% phase out, where depending on the amount of stock someone is purchasing, people might be making or losing money on a case-by-case basis. So this is very detailed, and I'm not disagreeing with his numbers. But at the end of the day, what you have to look at is you're working from home, you set your own hours, you are your own boss. Yes, there's a very small percent of wellness advocates that not just pay for the products but earn profits over that. But there's no glass ceiling. You get to choose with your own goals, skills, and effort how much money you want to make. The problem is that most people give up before they get to this 1% part, and they're not willing to put in a minimum of 3 to 5 years to get there. Now, there are people who do it in 3 to 5 days. There's people who do it in 3 to 5 months with regards to not just earning your products for free, but earning that part-time and full-time income type of thing. But those are the exceptions, not just because of what he says, also because of what doTERRA disclosure says, income disclosure says, but also from my experience in seeing out there in the world too. And those people, when they do earn that, they're in an amazing position, right? They invest $100 each month to, in order to qualify for commissions, and they make literally thousands and sometimes tens of thousands or 6 figures per month on that investment. There's no other investment that's worth that much. You invest $100, and for a presidential diamond in doTERRA, they earn roughly $90,000 a month. So $100 for $90,000. What kind of stock investment is going to give you that? What kind of corporate job is going to give you that, unless you're the CEO or senior leader that's a senior vice president or higher, or they just pay really, really, really well because you're a senior engineer or something like that. Like, what job is going to do that? And allow you to work from home, set your own hours, being your own boss. Come on now. And have all the systems in place, so all you have to do is focus on marketing and helping people. Network marketing is not perfect. Okay, this is what Eric Worre says. Network marketing is not perfect, it's just better. And that better part you only receive when you look at the products as valuable and you understand the benefits and uses and you take advantage of all the discounts. Okay, so that's the wholesale customer side. Or the business side, you actually work the business, you develop your skills, you set goals, you put in effort, consistent effort over time, 3 to 5 years. And when that 5-year or 3-year mark hits, you don't say, well, that's it, Lance said it was supposed to be here, that's when I'm starting to, see the money. And no, that's just the beginning. What if you could work 3 to 5 years, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, and set up the next 30 to 50 years of your life? Wouldn't it be worth it? Some people are like, well, not everybody's going to fall into that top 1% of wellness advocates making really great money. That's true. That is true. Now you know what you're getting yourself into, okay? You don't have to set high expectations, and when somebody says you'll have a Ferrari and a mansion, you can be like, hey, that's only top 1%, buddy, okay? Or pal or gal or whoever you are. And so you can use those numbers to your advantage and say, hey, it's not about the money. It's about helping people, and the money is a side effect. So the more people I help, the more people, and the more money I'll make. That's it. That's the formula. Conceptually, anyway. There's obviously a lot of work involved in training and skills. But anyways, they say here, someone with more specific knowledge of the numbers, how many people buy kits, how much commission is for product held in stock and not sold, may be more condemning and bring them closer to 99%. But since I do not have that more specific knowledge, I will give them some benefit of the doubt, not that it helps much. Again, they're going back to, they think everyone's supposed to make money far and above what they purchase. That's just not the case. So the conclusions here from all this are that at least 90% of doTERRA consultants are losing money. Again, you're not losing money if you use the products and receive a benefit, but in their context, it's how you perceive things. But anyways, it says this is giving extreme slack and it only accounts for minimum purchases. Any additional purchases, business kits, or overstocking cause this number to climb, and the realistic guess would be that 98% of consultants are losing money. All right, on average, 43% of every sale is going directly to the pockets of the top 1% of the company. This means that if someone got their 100 PV, $1,200 per year, but was in the group earning $375, that they lost $825. On average, $516 of their purchases and $354.75 of their loss went to the top 1% of the company. I'll be honest, it's possible that they rounded and that this number is lower, but it would be a number going to smaller percentage of the company. 1% is just what was left over from the other groups. The people at the top are unequivocally profiting on the losses of people trying to emulate them and be profitable, which is, in my opinion, unethical and a violation of the spirit of the FTC's regulations. FTC's regulation says that as long as you have real product in exchange for money, then it's legal. Now, he's mentioning unethical, but you have to keep in mind how many people, this is not in his calculations, by the way, so this is, he's lacking some objectivity here and some fact-based information. Those presidential diamonds who make $1.3 million a year in doTERRA, do you know how many people they help? It's not 1,000 people. It's not 2,000 people. It's a minimum of 50 to 60,000 people in their organization. There's some people who have well over 1 million people in their organization. For the folks that just, that have been with the company since they started, over 1 million, like 2 or 3 million people in their organization. So you're telling me whether you have 50,000 people in your organization or 2 to 3 million people in your organization, you haven't earned the $1.3 million a year. Are you kidding me? Like, that's crazy. Like, you have earned that spot by helping a lot of people, and that means you had wholesale customers and builders that saw your vision, gravitated towards you, wanted to be on your team, and basically shared the message of health and hope to people, thousands, millions of people. And so that's what's missing out of here, is they're not considering how many people are being helped by those people. And so these people don't just magically get in these positions and do zero work. I mean, they had to work to earn their spots. And some of them, yes, some leaders are able to place leaders as placement and then place under leaders under them because they have a great lead generation system. So yes, some leaders may not work as hard as other leaders because they may get great placement strategy. But that is also an exception. For the vast majority of people, they just had to share a ton, use a ton of the products themselves because they found value in it. And there's some people that gravitated towards them and they grew fast because they had a great network. So your net worth equals your net work. So if you want a great net worth, you have to have a great network. And it's not just quantity, it's quality of those relationships as well. So, there's a lot not being factored into some of their conclusions in here. And that's why I like reading these off, because it gives you the other side of the coin. But at the same time, I understand where they're coming from. Many want to be a presidential diamond, many want to be a diamond, but not many are. And that's okay. What if you're just a silver? What if you're just a gold? What if you're just a platinum? But you get to work from home, set your own hours, being your own boss, and help a lot of people. Maybe not as much as a presidential diamond, maybe not as much as a double presidential diamond or triple presidential diamond, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And you don't lose money. You invest in yourself so that you improve your health and save money in other areas. And it's all about mindset. And yes, They could easily say, Lance, you're just sugarcoating stuff. Invest, right? You're spending money. Yes, you're spending money. Yes, but I wouldn't say you're losing money any more than you're losing money to pay for your lights in your house, or pay for the water in your house, or pay for gas in your car, or those things. Gas in your car, lights in your house, water in your house allow you to live a higher quality of life and continue your life journey, transporting yourself to work, or helping to take a shower, or making sure you can see where you're going around in the house so you don't bump into something. Those things allow you to continue your lifestyle. Same thing with the money you invest with the oils. They allow you to not just continue your lifestyle, but increase your quality of life. So again, it comes down to mindset. It's all mindset, and it's great that they went this level of detail in all of this. And there's still some more here. Like, there's a little bit more, and some, decent amount of comments. Again, the link will be in the description. But I think it's so important to have perspective on this, to look at both sides, to be more objective. Yes, they have their conclusions. I have my conclusions too. And I would agree with them, but I would also agree with them for a lot of stuff, but not on the whole. They have to factor in how many people are being helped, that you have to earn these spots, or at least you have to make sure that you maintain that spot through adding value as well. That could be through conference calls, continuing relationships with your builders, that could be educating, there's lots of stuff. And these people get to live a life where they work from home, set their hours, they're their own boss, and they help a lot of people. I mean, I have not found a better business than network marketing when you find a person, product, and company that has an amazing, high quality product and authentic network marketing business model that focuses on teaching, sharing. When you find a network marketing company that has an authentic business model of teaching, sharing, and leading with powerful products, like doTERRA, I have not found a better business opportunity. That's over corporations, that's over franchises, that's over mom and pop shops. There's no better business opportunity, or even training that you get. Like, being a wellness advocate is the perfect training to help you become a better entrepreneur or better small business owner as well. And you don't have to leave everything to be one. You could have doTERRA as a side hustle until it becomes a main hustle, or you can just keep it as a side hustle. It's okay. Like, again, it's all about who you become along the way and focusing on the process, learning from your results, but not being outcome dependent. Not saying, oh, well, I'm not this rank, so therefore I quit. Or, oh, my upline's not supporting me, so therefore I quit. Or, you can't quit at the first sign of trouble. You gotta be a product of the product and love the products and understand the income disclosure agreement, which clearly they covered in way more detail than anyone would probably ever need or want. But it is informative, it is interesting, and it helps you learn what you're signing up for. It helps you manage your expectations better, to know that it takes time, it takes skill, it takes effort, it takes goals, it takes a lot of stuff, and it does take a certain degree of timing of there's never too late to start with doTERRA or a network marketing company, but sometimes timing with a specific leader or timing with the market conditions or something like that could increase things in a way that maybe without that timing wouldn't have been there as well, right? So, there's a lot of factors involved. But at the end of the day, you're the captain of your ship. You determine how far you sail out into the waters of financial freedom, health freedom, and hope. And so at the end of the day, there's no glass ceilings. And that's what amazing opportunity doTERRA offers for folks that are interested in that. That's not everybody. Most people just become a wholesale customer, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. You want a business where most people are customers, because then they're actually receiving value from the product and not having to feel like they have to do the business or have to sell or have to hard sell or have to lead with the business opportunity. You don't want that. You want a network marketing business like doTERRA where they have such powerful products that people just want to use the products and get a discount. That's cool. Thank you. Let's see their name. Their name is FlipZar. Thank you, FlipZar, for this extremely detailed doTERRA income disclosure analysis. I think there's some things that were left out, and some mindset things that should be taken into consideration. But at the same time, I know this is an anti-MLM thread, so there's clearly not going to be that, and there probably never will be. That's why I'm doing this video, to provide the other side. So, all right, well, what do you think? Do you think this was informative? Do you think this was hopeful? Or do you think that, oh no, like, no one makes money, or very little percent make money, or hey, there's actually a great opportunity to make money if you want to, right? I mean, not everybody wants to. They just want to use the products at a discount. So anyways, let me know your thoughts below in the comment section. Otherwise, hit the like button if you did. Hit subscribe for future video updates. And check out the link in the description below so you can see this income disclosure analysis. I mean, it's detailed. It's the most detailed one I've ever seen. So it's good. I'd say it's good. I just don't agree with their conclusions. But overall, the analysis, the numbers were good. I like numbers. But I think there's more to consider. There's more that needs to be factored in from a mindset standpoint. Okay, I think that's clear. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the horse has been beat to death again. All right. Well, again, yeah, check out the links below, and I'll see you in the next video.